Welcome guys, in this video lecture. In this today video tutorial we will discuss about 6G communication system. So here we will discuss the outlines of this today video lecture. So let's start one by one. First of all, we will discuss about the 6G. Second, we will discuss about the UAVs or the unmanned aerial vehicles that are used in the 6G. Third, we will discuss the data rates in 6G are used. Fourth, we will discuss the latency in the 6G. Fifth, we will discuss applications of the UAVs in the 6G. And finally, we will discuss the comparison of the networks from first generation to the sixth generation in mobile network communication system. So before starting the video lecture, guys, I want to tell you, please subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed yet, and like my videos. If you have any query regarding the video, please write in the comment section. So let's start. So what is 6G? 6G is nothing but it is a sixth generation of the mobile network communication system. So in the 6G have used the terahertz spectrum that we will discuss later in this video, and here we will discuss some components of 6G one by one. First, 6G is have used full spectrum, or we can say full spectral. So the frequency ranging from the microwave to the terahertz range to laser range, all the frequencies are utilized here in the 6G. So as we know, the millimeter wave range is used in the 5G new radio system, and terahertz frequency range is used in the 6G communication system. So here the terahertz to laser spectrum is starting from 0.3 terahertz to 10 terahertz frequency range, and under this frequency spectrum the wavelength is very small, from 30 to 1000 micrometer. This much wavelength is used in the 6G. So second one is the full coverage. So here UAVs, these are the unmanned aerial vehicles, or we can say these are the flying towers that are used in the 6G. So that will be used for providing the full coverage network in the 6G mobile communication. So third one is the full dimension. 6G, we can say this is fully dimensional. It allow the accurate radio frequency operations, or for the fine analysis of the signal, modulation of signal, manipulation of the signal regarding the intensity, phase, frequency in the space. So, or we can say for do the fine or accurate analysis of the signal, it will do the accurate analysis of signal of RF operation. So we can say this is a fully dimension. Next one is the full convergence. Fully convergence, the 6G network will do multiple tasks at a same time, or it is a multifunctional system. So this is a fully convergence. Next one is fully photonics. So in the 6G have used the photo detectors that will helps to the unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs for making energized, or for making the balance condition of energy in the UAVs or flying towers, have used the solar or photo detectors in the towers of the or flying towers of 6G. So next one is the fully intelligence. In the 6G have used the artificial intelligence and machine learning. This will helps to make the accurate predictions for tasking in the 6G with the help of neural networks that are used in the machine learning. So with the help of these neural networks, it will do the accurate actions. So next one is UAVs. So what are UAVs? UAVs are nothing but these are the unmanned aerial vehicles, or we can say these are the flying towers. So in the 6G ecosystem, have flying devices will placed in the space like the flying towers and work like a network layer between the ground and space network. So here the UAV work vertically, means it will communicate from space to ground like a vertical path, and connected with the ground base stations, access points, relays are small base stations or small towers or flying mobile terminals to improve the coverage, reliability and energy efficiency of 6G wireless network. So all these things done in the 6G very smoothly in the 6G communication system. So here we will discuss UAVs, and in this graph we will discuss little bit about the generations from 1G to 6G. So the 1G, we all know about that. 1G is the first generation of the mobile network communication system, and that was introduced in 1980s, and on that particular time that was only the voice calling was possible, and the data rates on that time are of 1G, that is 2.4 kbps, and only AMPS system is used on that particular time. So analog mobile phone system was used on that particular time in the 1G, and in the 2G after 1980 to 1990, from 1990 to 2000 the 2G system was used, and in the 2G only facility have of sending or receiving the SMS services from transmitter to receiver. So the data rates for 2G was 64 kilobytes per second, and third one the 3G system was introduced on 2000, and on that particular time only the first internet facility providing generation was 3G. So here www, this is World Wide Web, this was the browser, and that will only have an access to visit or to connect with the internet. Only user will connect with the internet with the help of this www browser in the 3G generation, third generation. So on that particular time the data rates of 3G was 2 megabytes per second, and after 2000 on 2010 the 4G introduced, fourth generation, that have data rates of 100 to 1000 megabytes per second. Now the data rates are improved. So here the internet of applications are used, so we will browse, or we can communicate with the help of the multiple applications with other users with the help of internet. So here LTE system was used, long-term evolution. So here internet calling and other new features was come on that particular time in the 4G, and after the 4G 2020 the massive broadband and internet of things was introduced in the 5G. Here everything is connected with internet in the fifth generation of the mobile communication system, and here the data rates are 1 gigabytes per second to 10 gigabytes per second. Here everything is connected with internet and here the some limitations in the 5G have the low coverage and high latency. The 6G, the some limitations of the 5G was removed by the 6G. So the 5G have used the gigabytes spectrum, and in the 6G have used the terahertz spectrum, frequency spectrum. And in the 6G, these are the UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. Unmanned aerial vehicles are flying towers that will communicate or that will helps in case of the emergency situations where the mobile coverage is not possible. So these are very much helpful on that particular situations. So these are the basically flying towers and help for the for improving the coverage in any particular area. So these are some technological advancements in the 6G. So here first one is the reinforcement learning, second is the aerial blockchain, path planning and navigation, energy harvesting and virtualization. These all 5 technological advancements are connected with applications: search and rescue, mail and delivery, traffic monitoring, precising agriculture, inspections. All these applications are connected, interconnected with technological advancement with the help of neural network, or we can say the machine learning. So here the reinforcement learning is basically it read the interest of the users and provide that particular users the data of their interests. And aerial blockchain here according to the means it will provide the path, or we can say the how these blockchains are formed of the UAVs. And path planning and navigation, it will provide the instructions or calculations about the path planning, how the navigations and path plannings are formed. And the fourth is energy harvesting, how we can harvest the energy. About the energy harvesting, how we can get more energy and from the with the help of the photo detectors. And finally virtualizations, everything is connected with the server, how every data is data of every user is connected and stored in on the servers directly. So search and rescue applications, mailing and delivery system, traffic monitoring, precising agriculture, inspections, all these applications are done according to the technological advancements with the help of the machine learning or artificial or intelligence networks. So next one are the data rates and latency of the 6G. So the data rates are used in the 6G that are up to 1 terabytes per second, and the latency is less than 1 millisecond. Latency is nothing but it is a delay that is how much time a signal is taking from reaching the transmitter to receiver. So that is the delay. Here if the delay is small, then the speed is large. If the speed is high, delay is low, we can say. So our delay must be less in milliseconds. So this 6G totally based on the neural networks in the machine learning. So next one is the comparison between the networks from first generation to the 6th generation of the mobile communication system. So here first one is the 1G that we have discussed. Here use the analog mobile phone system, and core network is public switching transmission network, PSTN, and frequency band is 824 to 894 megahertz. And the mobility range or movement of the if user do any movement, then it will not receiving the coverage or signal. So in the 1G, so only standing in any particular place or location, the user will communicate, or user was communicate on that particular time in the previous time. So the theoretical data rates was on 2.4 kbps, kilobyte per second, on that 1980s time. So energy efficiency is 0, and latency, there was up to more than 1000 millisecond latency on that particular time. So in the in the 1980s. So after that, on the 2000, the 2G was 1990s was introduced the 2G second generation. Here the standard are the global system for the mobile communication, GSM, were introduced, and CDMA, code division multiple access, IS95, and Edge. So Edge is nothing but this was the 2.5G. So here also core networks was PSTN, and frequency band was used 850 to 1900 megahertz, and mobility range up to the 100 speed of the 100 kilometer per hour speed the user can move, and that was receive the signals in the 2G, and only SMS services was available only in the 2G, and the data rates up to 64 kbps receive on the 1980s when 2G was introduced, and energy efficiency was 0.01 time improved. So here the delay will be reduced. So here some improvements, means half improvements done in the 2G. So in the third generation on 2000, so here UMTS, WCDMA, CDMA techniques, these are the standards are used in the 3G, and here the digital pack, the core networks have used the packets PSTN removed, and analog system is removed, and digital networks or digital data transmission techniques are used. So the frequency band used in the 3G 1.8 to 2.5 gigahertz, and mobility range is improved. Up to the user can move while communicating up to 150 km per hour speed, and the data rates, theoretical data rates was up to 2 megabytes per second, and energy efficiency is 0.1 time efficiency improved, and latency in the 3G that was 100 millisecond, and in the 4G have the use the Wimax, wireless interoperability mobile communication, or mobile access communication system we can say. So Wimax is used for the long distance communication, and LTE, long term evaluation, and long term evaluation advanced, that are used in the 4G, and every application can eligible to connect with internet in the 4G, and here the core network was internet. So frequency band used in the 4G is 2 to 8 gigahertz, and mobility range improved up to 350 km per hour. So data rates up to 1 Gbps improved, and energy efficiency 1 time improved, and delay is reduced to the 50 millisecond. And in the 5G new radio communication, here the IPv6, this protocol is used for the data transmission, and OFDM, orthogonal frequency division multiplexing technique is used, and TDM also used, time division multiplexing. Here the data transmit in the time slots in the TDM, and FDM according to the frequency data transmit from transmitter to the receiver. So here the Internet of Things are used. So frequency band is used, the sub 6 gigahertz band frequency band is used in the 5G, and millimeter wave spectrum is also used for 5G communication for the fixed SSCs, and mobility range up to 500 km per hour. So data rates also improved up to 10 Gbps, and energy efficiency 10 times improved, and latency reduced to 5 millisecond. And in the 6G current network, here the standards are GPS, global positioning system, for detect the accurate position of the position of any terminal, compass for the directions, and GLONASS is nothing but the global network position system, network positioning system, for the for detect the accurate position. To detect the accurate position is basically GLONASS. This global positioning system used for the Russia. And IoE is the internet to everything. Everything is connected to the internet in the core network of 6G. So this also in the 6G also used have the 5G spectrum, sub 6 GHz spectrum, but the spectrum range improved. The exploration of the terahertz band above 300 GHz spectrum is used. And non-radio frequency example for here the optical and VLC means some optically the signal is transmitted to the light and light to digitally. Here these techniques are used and for detect the high data rates in the 6G. And very large communication system. Frequency band, very high frequency band is used in the 6G up to the laser range. And mobility range, the speed of the users are mobile increased up to user can move up to 1000 km/h, and it will easily communicate with other users with the help of internet. And theoretical data rates are also improved up to 1 terabytes per second, and energy efficiency is improved up to greater than 100 times. And so latency here is reduced less than 1 millisecond. So in the 6G, if latency is reduced, then our data rates was increased. So we can observe, we can make an idea about 6G, how much this will do the fast actions, or this will fast, how much data rates we can achieve when we use the 6G in our mobiles. So I hope all you enjoy this lecture, and that's all for this video. So guys, if you really get something from this video, then please subscribe my channel and like the videos. And if you have any query regarding the video, please write in the comment section. So thank you guys.